When it comes to exercise, something is better than nothing. On the other side, it's important to know that there are some exercises and techniques that work better than others. No matter what your goals are, you can avoid wasting your workout by sorting out ineffective moves and improve your technique. The first exercise on our list are rows. Now you might say, this can't be true. Rows are one of the best exercises for your back. Well, of course rows are not bad in general. In fact, it's the execution that some people do wrong all the time. If you just bend and extend your arms while keeping the shoulder and shoulder blades in the same position, you will simply waste your time. To work your back, you have to pull as little as possible from your arms and increase your back activation. To achieve this, you have to move your elbows behind your back and bring your shoulder blades together. For some people, it can help to visualize it like that. Imagine that the resistance is on your upper arm right behind your elbow. If done correctly, the row will work your lats, rhomboids and the middle traps instead of heavily relying on biceps, brachialis and forearm strength. The second exercise are flutter kicks. Here it's also about the technique in the first place. If you raise your legs up and down with the wrong pelvis position, you make this exercise a more hip flexor than an abdominal focused exercise. The key point is to tilt your pelvis backwards so that your lower spine is in a straight instead of an arched position. This gets easier if you also raise your shoulder blades off the ground. In addition, you get a much higher abdominal activation with that position. Once you got this position, you maintain it during the complete execution and never lower the tension. Imagine it like this. Your legs are connected to your pelvis and your pelvis is the origin point for your abs. The more you lower your extended legs, the longer the lever gets and the more your abs have to work to hold the pelvis in the right position. If your abs are too weak or you just lack in body control, it can happen that you move out of the right pelvis position. Now your hip flexors do most of the work, and of course this is not the goal of the exercise. To reduce the risk of falling into the wrong pelvis position, we suggest to place your hands below your buttocks. This supports the right pelvis position and prevents the forward tilt. If you're not able to do this exercise because of the points mentioned before, we suggest to decrease the lever by moving your legs more towards a vertical position. Over time you will get stronger and you can lower your legs again step by step. The third exercise are wave push-ups. Well, actually we talk about regular push-ups with a wave-like motion. The wave itself is nothing else than a compensation. If you push yourself up in leg and strength, you try to compensate it by extending your thoracic spine. Once you reach the top position, you simply raise your lower spine and you are back in the push-up starting position again. This wave is totally ineffective for the development of your chest, shoulders, triceps and core stabilizers. To activate those muscles optimally, you have to maintain core tension and a straight or naturally curved spine. Please don't confuse this execution with a cobra or a downward dog push-up. The wave push-up is just a result of a leg in strength, while you do the cobra pose on purpose to work on your spine mobility. So it's not wrong to let yourself down with full control and move actively into and out of the cobra position. It's only problematic if you want to push yourself up like in a regular push-up and fail because you lack in strength of the muscles you want to train. The next movement on our list are burpees. The burpee consists of a regular push-up and a squat jump. The complexity of this movement has its pros and cons. The pros are that it works many muscles of your upper and lower body at once and that it can be done everywhere. The downside is that the burpee is a movement you can easily cheat on and that you need a good amount of strength, mobility and body awareness to do it correctly. Alright, let's start with the push-up. Some people just let themselves fall down with nearly no body tension. After that they do a wave push-up and switch to a bad squat position. To do it right, always maintain body tension while moving into and out of the push-up position. When you do the transfer to the squat, try to keep your heels on the ground and don't let your knees collapse inwards. If you can't hold a deep squat position without raising your heels off the ground, try to transfer to a higher squat position. Of course, you can do the burpees with a wider or a more narrow foot placement. But for all beginners, we suggest the wide foot placement because it requires less ankle mobility and balance. The last exercise on our list are assisted external shoulder rotations. Here we got two problems. First, some people use way too much weight or too much resistance through a band. What then usually happens is that they abduct their elbows and bring their delts into play. This is highly ineffective for your external shoulder stabilizers you want to train. Keep in mind that you train those muscles to work against imbalances, to stabilize your shoulders and to optimize joint functions. This is not a bench press, a deadlift or some other heavy compound lift or exercise. The second problem is that this movement is not as good as it could be. Don't get me wrong, it's not completely useless to work on your rotator cuff like that. But to make the movement more effective, you can adapt it in a more functional way. If you want to improve the ability of shoulder stabilization in different positions, you also should train it in that way. The rotator cuff and their external stabilizers play an important role of nearly every upper body focused exercise. No matter if you do a handstand, an overhead press, a pull-up or a push-up. So instead of doing a movement in one plane only, make it more complex. Let your rotator cuff work in every place and in every position. Alright guys, we hope we could help you to make your workouts more effective. If you are looking for a step-by-step workout guide that helps you to stick to those points, you should head over to calimove.com. Our online workout courses are built upon scientific research and give you a lot of variety. Instead of random routines, you get a solid plan that you can follow over months and even years. Every program comes with different levels, so it doesn't matter if you just started working out or if you're already pretty advanced. Just choose the right one for your individual needs and you're ready to go. If you have any other questions, just leave a comment. I'm Alex and I'll see you in the next video.